Okay, hi guys. I am so excited to be doing this stream. And oh, look, yes, people are hopping on. Awesome. Nice to see you guys here. Sorry about the late start. We had some extra stuff to set up, as you can see off to the side this way, I guess. I need to point at it. It's opposite for me. On the side, we have a kitten cam with my foster kitties, and aren't they just adorable? Yeah. So we're gonna be showing a live kitten cam while chatting all about my foster journey and telling you guys a little bit more information on fostering and the process of doing that. Hi, Sabri. Hi, Tracy. Yo, thanks for jumping in. I'm so excited. Sabri, do you want to be a foster mom? Whoa, I just like breathed and this thing got so much noise. Yeah, we've got a whole setup here. I'm super excited to take you guys through a little bit of a slideshow of my past fosters, and then also just showcase the kittens and their little wiggles and their mom at the same time. So here, let me show you guys a bit of a close-up version because I'm sure you guys would rather look at the kittens than me. So I'll put myself off to the side, and we can just watch the kittens because honestly, look at them. But yeah, so thank you guys for jumping on. Alyssa, yes, hi. Oh my gosh, I saw you followed us today, and I was like, what? Does she have Twitch? That's so awesome. So we literally set up a kitten cam in the kitten's room. I want to watch you be a foster mom, but not you. Okay, well, this is like the audience of people I'm speaking to here are like, nah, but that's okay. I can still take you guys through, how to set up for foster kittens and everything like that. I'm going to go through the whole process and talk a little bit about how to locate your local shelter, to the whole setup process, to what you're getting yourself into if you do want to be a foster parent. Hey girl, hey. Thank you, so cute. I know, right? They're just wiggling around. Oh, Steph, hi! Oh my gosh, this is so awesome, guys. This is a fun group of people. I wish you guys all had your videos on as well, because I want to talk to you guys. But yeah, I have some photos of my past fosters. Oh my gosh, Rona is calling me. Yeah, Rona the store. I ordered stuff from Rona and they're calling me. But yeah, I'm going to take you guys through some of my past foster kitties. And yes, Matt, you're on! Kitten Cam Hype! Yes! That's awesome. Thanks for jumping on, guys. I'm just letting some people hop in here before I get going on the whole foster chat and stuff like that. I wanted to first, I guess I'll take you guys through. Timmy, yes, you're hosting my stream. That is so awesome. Oh yes, we need to host it. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Hey Tracy, how's it going this Friday? Yay. Alyssa stuff. Memories. Oh my gosh. Is that Wednesday, Matt? This is Wednesday, Matt. Oh my gosh. And look at that. You have all your badges because you are now a subscriber, which is so exciting. So thank you for that again. Timmy, hi. Thanks for hosting the stream. This is going to be literally probably the most adorable stream I ever do with all these little guys wiggling. Woo, Ness, thank you for hosting this stream. It's nice to see you guys coming back. I know they're so small. I had to zoom in on them so much because they're like little beans. They're so cute. And I turned on some sound, so let me know if if they're probably sleeping now, but you might hear the little mews. Yeah, so in the bottom corner is a picture of my very first foster kittens, Mint and Time. And first of all, I just love the name. They were part of a group called Mint, Time, Parsley, Oregano. Like, that was the litter's name. So I finally got to a point in fostering where I got to name my own kittens. So I literally named these guys up on the screen that you see I gotta get my directions right here. Everything's flipped. Over here, I named these guys all after teas. So we've got Pico, who's the runt of the litter. We have Jasmine, Ginger, Bengal, and Oolong. And Oolong's like a big boy. He's like the biggest cat in the pile of small ones. Yeah, and so basically, these are my 25th fosters that I've had over the past about 3 years, I'd say now. And it's just been an incredible experience fostering for two different organizations now. The first one I started off with was the Toronto Humane Society. Thank you, Timmy. It's been amazing for me too. It's funny, like that, people could call it like a volunteer work because honestly, I feel like it's kind of like an opportunity for me. Like I love it so much. It's so much fun. It doesn't feel like work at all, even though there are parts of it that are hard, and I will get into that a little bit after. But yeah, so fostering with the Toronto Humane Society was a really incredible opportunity. And it was this great way for me to learn with kind of my hand being held. They taught me all the different things that I needed to learn, like syringe feeding and how to keep the kittens warm and give them medications. They even taught me how to administer medication through needles, which was really scary for me at first. And they were just always there training me and teaching me and holding my hand through all of the serious stuff. And it was really awesome. Jump to a couple years later now, and I'm fostering with another organization. We did a fundraiser for them a couple shows ago, I think about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it's for Paws and Tails Adoptions. We fundraised, and they are a very small organization. And to go from a huge organization like the Toronto Humane Society to a very small organization where there's about 5 foster parents, barely any funding going on, and it's kind of like fend for yourself. Like you have to know what you're doing. You roll with the punches. You do a lot of research on your own, and it's you're really getting your feet in the mud, and it's a whole other experience. And so to be a more trained foster parent in this setting, it's a lot more freeing for me to be able to make more decisions about the well-being of the kittens and decide what stages and milestones they're at. Thanks. So this Friday is pretty great now that there's kitters. I know. We need to call it Friday streams. Yeah, this is my Friday spotlight stream, we're calling it, and my guests are a little furrier than my usual guests. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Matt, I watched the stream clips from Wednesday. Yes, of course. Those were so funny. I mean, it was painful to watch because I was like scrambling. My laptop almost died. It was funny if you like watching people in pain. Today, hopefully, everything's plugged in. I've checked it all, so we're not going to have any scares like that. But yeah, just hopping back into my journey fostering. It was really cool opportunity to foster with a more hands-on organization and now with a more hands-off organization. I've learned so much stuff. This little bundle of joy is pulling on my heartstrings. Oh, Sabrina, I'm pulling on your heartstrings? Thank you. I didn't realize I was a bundle of joy. Wow, Tip. Got to. But yeah, so it's been a lot more intense fostering with this organization. I'm calling a lot more of the shots, and it's a wonderful opportunity, but it does make the whole fostering experience a little more intense. So I want to talk to both different experiences as we go through the process of talking to you guys a little bit more about if you ever considered fostering and what that would look like in your area, because some places they're not going to have the Toronto Humane Society to hold your hand and teach you what you need to learn. And a lot of the learning that I did, because it does take a lot of research and studying and training and courses, that all came from online research. People like the Kitten lady she's just like an incredible resource. So I should link her videos or something. Maybe I'll post it. I always post everything on Instagram. That's my most active platform, but maybe I'll post something featuring her because she's just incredible. I didn't realize I was a bundle of joy as you explode laughing. Sus. You know what's sus? That the mom cat just dipped from the whole tub and she's out in the room somewhere. She just left her babies, so I'm worried that she's gonna come knock over our camera. So I really wish I had a camera backwards to show what she is doing right now behind the scenes, because I'm a little bit worried about that, but she doesn't hear us, so they're not like really aware of the presence other than this camera sitting off to the side here. So they aren't hearing us. But yeah, so you might want to foster and you only have like a really hands-off organization, and that's okay. You can do a lot of learning on your own online. There are so many incredible resources and people that can teach you things. I will forewarn against trying to learn specific techniques and things online, because there's some stuff that you just really, really need to learn in person from a trained professional veterinarian. Recently, and it took me 3 years of fostering to get the training for this, but I learned how to administer subcutaneous fluids through a butterfly needle in the back of the neck. So when they're very, very sick and they are completely dehydrated, then you can actually insert subcutaneous fluids into the kitten that way if they're not drinking, and that can be a huge game changer and lifesaver to a kitten that's not doing well. But that is a learned skill. That's something you should not try to watch online. And something that, you're going to want to connect with your local organizations to help you get some training courses in person for stuff like that. Not to mention you can't even purchase the fluids bag or the needles or anything like that by yourself. So you have to do that through a different organization. But it is such an incredible and empowering feeling when you can learn to do that, and you can literally change you pivot the direction that this kitten is heading. Like, they can just be so weak and small and not doing well, and you're giving them these fluids and then they bounce back. So it's a really good skill to learn as a foster parent, to have in your back pocket if you have a kitten that falls ill. Because as adorable and cute and mostly sleeping as they are, even healthy kittens fall sick very easily. So when you sign on to be a foster parent, it's a whole lot of loving, and it's a whole lot of playing and training and teaching and snuggling. But it's also, knowing and being comfortable around an animal that you can, even if it's not through a needle, but it's a syringe in the mouth, it's giving them the medication when they fall sick, so that they have, someone that's comfortable putting, respiratory infections are very common, and they get like watery nose and watery eyes, and sometimes you need eye medication, and you need to be comfortable sticking eye medication in their eyes and stuff like. So you have to be very comfortable around that stuff, and practice takes perfect. And honestly, like, just learning and reaching out to resources on people ew. just how to do it most effectively, and there's a lot of fear-free techniques out there that you can learn. And if anybody's like, fostering and has any questions about this stuff in the chat, I've done like a stupid amount of research. So let me know, and I can discuss some of that stuff with you as well. And, or I can link you towards or send you in the direction of some really incredible videos that I think would help with that. Let me take you guys a little bit through some of the slideshow pictures because they're so cute. So I have this one zoomed in here because they're just wee little babies. These guys were just probably about 2 weeks old around. So this is little Mint and Time, as you can see in the bottom right corner. They are such little nuggets. Look at this guy's face. So I know. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So even stuff like this, like, they're super cute. These guys, though, they were orphaned, and so they didn't have a mom feeding them. They were 4-hour feeder kittens. So that means every 4 hours around the clock, 24/7. Like that means I had alarms going off all night long every 4 hours to syringe feed these guys because they were too young for bottles. And even on their neck, you can see if milk gets on there, they need to be cleaned because it gets all scruffed up. And then it's like a whole thing about you got to like clean them. And I'm not going to get into the whole like stimulating them to go to the bathroom, but just know they can't do anything on their own at this age. So it's adorable, but it is a lot of work at this adorable little age. This is me with one on my lap. I took my kittens to work with me. I don't recommend everybody do that unless you have a really lovely job opportunity like I had to bring them in with me. This is Mint again, sitting next to my computer. um, and yeah, so that brings me to another point is if you're considering fostering, it's really important to consider everything around you, the whole aspects of your home life. Like, is it going to be you taking care of them on your own? Are you going to have, you're going to share that responsibility with somebody living with you, a partner or something like that? Because these guys can't go 8 hours throughout a workday by themselves at home. So, I mean, do you have an awesome boss that lets you bring your kittens to work? Or are you getting somebody to feed them midday or going home on your lunch break? That is something to consider. But if you can, have someone or some way to check in on them, it's a really great thing to do and a great opportunity to take them in. And I'm definitely saying that it can work around different types of schedules. You don't have to always just be at home. And depending on what your schedule looks like, you can take on different types of cases. So the different types of cases you could take on, and this is just speaking more towards cats. Obviously, there are a lot of different types of animals that you guys can foster. But cats specifically, you could take in orphaned kittens. You can take in neonatal kittens, which are the guys that I have in the video camera. Let me see here, this way, in this video over here. And these guys are like just born. So they're blind and they're deaf. So they cannot do anything on their own. They can't even regulate their own body temperature. So they need a water bottle, a hot water bottle underneath, and a constant heat source, keeping them warm. And so just stuff like that's going to be a more extreme case. Whereas orphan kittens, depending on how young they are, they could be also, honestly, they could end up being a lot more work than these guys, because these guys at least have a mother that takes care of them. And if one falls behind, I'm here to supplementally feed if, one's not feeding right or something like that. So that could be some extra work because you're feeding all the kittens by yourself. You are the only source of heat and company and cleaning and everything like that, attention that these kittens get, whereas a mother would be with them almost all day, other than a few hours she would leave possibly to hunt and stretch her legs and get away. They like to get away like Mother Cat is doing right now on our stream. She's kindly stepped aside, but she'll probably walk in at any moment and literally sit right on top of all of the kittens to keep them warm. And they are okay. They like it. But yeah, so let me just zoom out of this guy here. This is Mint all grown up. That little guy in the previous one. This is a couple-month-old kitten. So foster length varies depending on the case that you take in. Oh yes, Minty. Oh yes, your baby. Oh my gosh. This guy was the sweetest little thing in the world. Oh my gosh. Like, it broke my heart to give him away. But as foster parents, that is like the most important thing. The most important reason why we foster is to give them up and give them to another home so that we can foster again and we can save some more lives. So that was a hard one. And that was my first ones. And I had them for a few months because they were so young. So it was really rough. It was really rough giving that guy away. And as you guys might know from my past streams, it took me 3 years and 21 fosters. Oh, I guess, yeah, 21 fosters to finally become a foster failure. And foster fail means, like, it's just a term that we all throw around in the fostering community, which means you've adopted the cat. So it's not necessarily a fail, really. It's a wonderful thing, and if you can still foster after adopting, then that's incredible. And so, uh, yeah, so I've finally, after a really long time, adopted two kittens, and I'm super excited about them. I'll get to them at the end. They're one of my most recent foster groups, and these guys come in usually in 2 or 3 groups of 2 or 3s, but I'd be a foster failure every single time. Honestly, it's hard. Yeah. That drive where you're taking them home and they're in their little cage and they're like, meow. And you're like, I'm so sorry. I love you. Yeah, it's hard. Honestly, like what I can say is that the only cure is to just get another set of fosters and do it all over again. But really, it takes your mind right off of it. So yes, this is Mint and Time again together. Buddies, super cute. This is another set of kittens that I had. This group, and there are 3 there in that picture. If you look really close under this guy's butt, that right there is another cat. He's being sat on. They are just little sweethearts. These guys melted my heart. Their names were Snap, Crackle, and Pop. They were orphaned kittens. And they were only in my house for a couple of weeks. So they were a little bit sick, minor things, but a lot of these cases that come through, these guys are so susceptible to getting illnesses within the shelter, so they're too young or a little bit too sick to go in for their spay-neuter surgery, and they don't get adopted out before they get spayed or neutered, so they send them off to a foster home, even if it's just for a few weeks, to clear up any sickness, to get them up to the weight that they need to be at for surgery, and they go out to the homes. So these guys were only with me, I think, for a little bit. But this is so cute. This one's Crackle. He was the little one. This one's Pop. And this is another set of kittens. So this is a group of 2 I had. This is a group called Levi and Malcolm. They didn't go with the funny names on these ones. But again, so now this one's an older case that I had. These guys were feral when I got them. So that is another type of classification of type of cases you could take in. So whether they're orphaned, they're sick, they're just underweight, or feral. So feral cats are ones that have been brought in totally from the outside. They've had no human interaction or very little, and they are extremely fearful. These guys are cases to take very, very cautiously, and you need to take your time with them. You are literally building all the trust that they have in people, and our goal is to make them the most adoptable cat in the whole shelter, right? So taking the time to bond with them, teaching them little tricks, getting them comfortable with being held, getting them comfortable with being brushed. These are all things that make them really adoptable candidates for parents that come in and they want to adopt. So it's really great work to help feral cats, young feral cats, become adoptable cats, and it's a really doable thing as well. It just takes a little bit of time and care, a little bit of TLC. So that's Levi and that's Malcolm. And these guys were a little bit older, but again, they were extremely fearful. And by the time they left my home, not to brag, they were like little babies, like they would just melt in your arms. So I really don't believe that, there's a cat that should be given up on. If in the right opportunity, in the right home, with the right help, you can definitely, relocate and change the life of these little guys, no matter what they're coming from. They left like sleeping in baskets, so these guys are in little baskets here. And so, yep, that's these guys again. little ones. Okay, this is another group. This is a funny group. I never got information from the organization if these guys were from the same litter, but I really think that they were not. I think they were a random grouping because they look so different. Oh, Sabri, yeah. If you get a cat that, and if you get a cat like that and don't spend time with it often, will it grow up and always be fearful? Like a chance that if you don't do it while younger, they'll never learn to trust. So yeah, if you don't put in the work, and it is a lot of work, and there's techniques that we have too to build bonds with feral cats. So we specifically reward them with for human interaction. So basically the only thing that they see value in is food. And so it's really important with other kittens, I might free feed dry food, but with feral cats, you never, ever, ever want to leave them food on their own because they think that they've found it themselves, and if you come near, be they'll like be defensive and they'll growl at you and hiss and fight and stuff like that. But if food is only presented when you are present in the room, right sitting beside the bowl, it associates you with food. You're the provider of food, and when you leave, food leaves too. So they want to look forward to you coming back. So little techniques and things like that we have gain their trust and make them enjoy people. Sneaky. Yes. You have to be a little bit sneaky. But yes, Ibri, what you were saying though, they will grow up to be more and more fearful if you don't address that and build a bond with them. They can grow up to be very fearful cats, and the older that they get, the harder it is to untrain that scared. Look at this guy. That's that fearfulness. And that's why even when you're doing, there's this called TNR programs. It's called Trap, Neuter, Release. And these are programs that bring in feral cats from cat communities. And if they have kittens with them, then they'll put them into a foster home with the mother so that they can get fed and they can get raised by the mom until they're of an age where in the wild they would even go separate from their mom. And then the mother, because the mother is a feral cat, at a certain point, it's just not possible. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but in most case scenarios, it's the happiest life option for the mother cat to be spayed or neutered, depending on if it's, male or female cat, and sent back out to live the rest of its life in the wild instead of trying to rehabilitate that parent, because it's lived its life as a feral animal, and so it probably isn't going to end up working out in a home. I'm not going to say it never happens, but that's why it's a great program. You can still rehabilitate feral kittens, and then you can just spay the mother and send her back out to her colony or wherever she lives out in the wild, so it stops that system of all these kittens being born and dying out there, and lets the mother still live her life outside where she's comfortable. So yeah, at a certain point, fearful feral cats they'll just grow more and more fearful of people and feral. So yeah, okay, so this is a funny one. I also, after fostering quite a few kittens, however many, if people are keeping a tally, I don't even know at what point this was, I fostered 2 bunnies. So there's a lot of other, if you are interested in stuff other than cats, I focus mostly on cats because that is the area that I've put the most research, training, everything like that into. But there are a lot of other animals out there that need fostering. So if you want to do some alternative animals, they've got like rats and rabbits and snakes and things like, lizards. And then obviously there's dogs, which are a huge foster commitment. But I kudos anybody who's fostering dogs out there because that's a lot of work. So Bree, my mom's one cat is very fearful. I've never seen him, and he's just starting to let us see him, but it's rare. We can't even touch him, so I was very curious if I was able to somehow reverse that for him. Poor baby. Mind me asking how old he is and how long he's been in the house? I'm just curious. But there's definitely some stuff that you can do when you're bringing in a cat into a new home. whether it's a fearful cat or whether it's just a new kitten and it's like loves everybody in the world is new, I strongly recommend putting it in a safe room and not letting it free roam the home. You don't want to actually, you can give them a little like sideways box, or their carrier is a wonderful opportunity to let them have a little hideaway, but the hideaways should be very open and easily accessible from people. You never want to let a cat that's fearful or skittish or nervous just roam in a whole house by itself. Because it's just going to run and it's going to hide, and it's going to hide from any opportunity that it has to open up to people. Whereas if it's in a controlled room where you can spend time with it and you can be in there and do like the feeding techniques like I was talking about, it kind of makes the cat get comfortable with people around, and then you introduce new people around and you show it's okay. You introduce new sounds. You show that it's still okay. And as they're comfortable coming out from hiding places, you can open up to larger and larger spaces within the house, and they won't go run and hide in the darkest corners of the couch. So it's important to kind of bring a kitten into the home in the proper way. But yeah, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Every case is super different. But yeah, there's different things that you can do. I would definitely recommend like the feeding things, like sitting down on the floor with the cat, petting them while they're getting their food, and when you leave, the food leaves. Things like that will, like, cats' biggest negotiator. Like, they are food motivated creatures. I'm sure everybody with a cat can attest, like, food comes out, the sound of food, all bets are off. Like, what do I need to do to get this food? Like, that is their biggest motivator. So if you have a cat that isn't, interested in you guys and, is fearful, then I think kind of bringing your presence around the food and making him kind of be like, okay, if I want this food, then I'm going to have to let human sit beside me, and I'm going to have to let human pet me and stuff like that. Then they'll do it for the food. Maybe not all at once. Maybe you're closer and then you're closer and closer and then touching. But there's different ways you can still bond with the cat afterwards, and I recommend using food for that. But putting in some time to build that relationship is definitely going to be worth it, because it's sad when a cat's just skittish and off hiding on its own, and it will continue to do that unless somebody takes the time to train it. It's really funny because not a lot of people think of cats as animals that need training, and dogs more like animals that need training, but you can actually teach a cat tricks just like a dog. You can teach them fetch, you can teach them roll over, sit, stay, paw, everything like that. And that's something that if you're trying to be a foster parent, it's a really incredible thing to teach them, because then when they go back to the shelter, they have this skill up on other animals, and it makes them so much more adoptable. If you can write in their profile that they know how to play fetch, like, oh my gosh, you just made that cat have a wonderful opportunity of getting adopted out. So definitely the job of the foster parent is not only to, rehabilitate and help with sickness, weight gain, all that stuff, but it's just to raise a very adoptable, pleasant animal that someone would want to take in. Because the saddest thing I see is when people adopt young kittens and then they're poorly trained and they return them when they're a little bit older, and suddenly they look like cats and they can't get adopted, and that was their opportunity, and then they're sent home. So our goal is to raise animals with good habits, and they're well adversed, they've been exposed to different sounds and noises and smells and people, so that we have a darkness on the screen. Want to hop over and just check? I think you just need to touch the screen, probably.
Wish me luck.
Okay. All right. Here, guys, I'm going to go over here. Hi. So, we're just going to check out the cam. Maybe Mother took us out. Was anybody looking? Did she knock us down? Oh, it seems to be working. Trace, it seems to be working now. I don't know what was going on there. It's like it just reset. Yeah. Oh, Mom just jumped in. Oh, because you went in the room, right? You see Mom just fly in there. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, let me just adjust this though because it like reset and then it undid all my cropping settings. So
Really?
yeah, but it's all good, guys. I'm good to like just toss this together here on cam. There we go. That's a little bit better. Maybe even a little bit more on the side will show. Yeah, I think that's best. Oh, that's as much as we can see on the side there. There we go. That's a little bit shifted over. Hi, Mom. Yeah, she's a little sweetie. She's very protective of the babies. She's so happy to be back in there with them, but also they kind of drive her crazy. It's funny. They climb like all over her, and she's like gets so pissed off at them because like I don't know, Mama needs her space too. That's why it's really important. You have to have a very specific setup when you're fostering babies with a mother because you need to create an area that's it's called a nesting bin or a nesting box where the mother can keep the kittens safe and together, but she can get out and leave because it's really important to give the mother a break from the kittens. She needs to be able to leave them sometimes. So, tired. Probably going to pass out or feed the babies. I will go in there also at some point and give the mom some food. And usually at that point, she'll feed the babies. Here we go. Oh, I wanted to just slide this over because it shifted everything. 1 second. There, that's going to be a little bit better. There we go. Oh, you guys can see them kind of wiggling their way around to get some food. She's like waking everybody up and they're like, oh my gosh, it's food time. So they're all like getting up and they're moving along. This is a good angle, actually. If she stays like this, watch, she's totally going to move. Oh, yep, she moved. She just stepped right on their faces. Guys, I love having this camera. I love seeing, like, what's going on in the background. What?
Delayed, so I just saw what you saw.
Oh, okay. It's delayed. Okay. She's, like, literally just smothered these tiny little guys. Like, what? I need to have this set up all the time because when you're just curious like what's going on when you're not around. Look at her just putting her hand on this guy's head like stay down. Don't go out there. There might be danger out there in the world. No, but she's a big sweetheart and it's really, it was new for me. Baby monitor. It was new for me to get used to the whole dynamic with a mother and her babies because you have to be very, very cautious. They are just because of their nature, they are very protective of the babies and nervous of anything that might be coming to get their babies. So you have to put a whole bin together, a quiet, warm place that's dark. We have a blanket over top so they feel a little more safe, and you have to approach the mother very cautiously and carefully to let her know that it's going to be okay and you're not there to harm her. Even though they've been here for a week now, and I've been going in there every day, multiple times a day to feed her and pet her, she still is like hisses when I first go in because she's I think she's looking at the we just have a stand up and it's new, so she's like keeping an eye out on it. But she still gets defensive every single time I go in the room. I have to approach it like it's the first time, be low, be quiet, be sweet, be slow, because she's, going to be very defensive, and that's just a characteristic of every mother cat that's given birth to her kittens. So it's something to be cautious of, but also it's something to balance because yes, the mother doesn't want me around and I want to be respectful of that. I want to make her as comfortable as possible, but Nature is cruel, and these kittens will fight to get milk, and sadly, the runt of the litter gets left out, and it is my job to make sure nature does not take its course in that effect. So I have to be getting in there and weighing the babies, supplementally feeding if one's really underweight, making sure everybody gets through it okay, because we don't, now that they're in a home setting, then we have the opportunity to save them all, whereas out in the wild, the youngest one probably would not make it, because the other ones, literally, like, you can see there's some big guys in there. That's probably Oolong and Bangle, like the big guys, and Pico is just this tiny, tiny little thing who rarely gets milk, has a really hard time latching, and just gets pushed around because they grow so fast, and he did not grow up fast enough to compete with the other guys. So he gets pushed around a lot. So it's just important to monitor stuff like that and to be weighing them. So you have to kind of balance respecting the mother's space and then also, fighting to save the little guy, because, it's not the wild here. Like, we can save them all. I thought I should have some tea in this stream because it's a tea-themed kitten party because all the kittens are named after teas. So I'm literally having ginger turmeric tea. This is my favorite tea. And I have a ginger. One of the kittens' names is Ginger in there. Why is she opening her mouth like that? I honestly don't know if it's because she sees the stand and she's nervous about it, or if she's like, the kittens are piling on her face. Like, moms will literally like discipline their kittens, like, back off, you're climbing on my face. But it is definitely interesting to see everything happening while I'm not in there. She doesn't act the same way while I'm in there for sure. But she's a big sweetheart. She lets me pet her. So yeah, bunnies. We can go back to the past foster time, because that was fun. Taking you through all the past ones. The bunnies. I I would not foster bunnies again. Personally, I maybe I'm just so comfortable with the dynamic of kittens, and I'm just, it's really wow. Like, it's a whole different ballpark with rabbits, and they have like a lot of different personality traits. They get really, how do I put this? Like, really defensive, and they will fight each other. So like, I had two, so we can see here these two guys together. Very cute little guys. They were born together like they're siblings. They had a little bit of a spat, and rabbits can actually hold a grudge against each other for the rest of their lives. And rabbits can fight each other literally to the death. So you have to be very cautious, because if you have rabbits that have turned against one another and they have gotten into a fight and they are no longer friends with each other, I'll put it in fun, not cute terms, they're not buddies anymore, they can literally, like, it's very sad, but they can completely turn against each other and become very dangerous to one another. And I've come in and there was just fur everywhere. Like, one like was bleeding because like they started to fight each other, so we actually had to separate these two. It was very sad to keep them separate from each other. You always want them to have that company, but they were becoming a danger to each other, and that kind of anxiety I did not need in my life. I was like, I have so much to worry about just taking care of my fosters, keeping them alive, healthy, happy, entertained. I don't also need to worry about them killing each other when I leave the house. So, yeah. It makes me so sad, like the dynamic that happens there. And so kittens are better. I don't know, guys. Are you bunny people or are you cat people? I'm curious. No dog people, though. Just bunnies or cats, right? They don't chew the entire house. True. Bunnies will chew everything. So yeah, that were these guys. They were little fluffy, adorable guys, though. They were very cute. So this was another litter. This is probably the first litter of kittens I had where it really made me stop and be like, I don't like, I might want to consider keeping these guys because like I just bonded with them. They were around a long time. They were a little bit sick when they came in, but yeah, they ended up going out to a home. So I did not end up keeping these guys. You will see the ones that I kept. This guy is literally hilarious. They are such little sweethearts. If you if you train them right from a young age, we do all these different ways where you go through, we do checkups, fake checkups. So hold them on their back so they're comfortable with their belly exposed. You check their teeth so that they're comfortable having their teeth touched. You touch all their paws, their paw pads, each one. You do a light squish so that it exposes the claws, and you tap each one around the paws and the feet so that they are comfortable in the future with their hands and feet getting touched. I'm sure a lot of cat owners out there will attest to the fact that their pet does not like having their feet touched. But because from a young age, I touch all of my foster kittens' toes, I'm a professional toe toucher. I literally touch all of their toes at a regularly all the time. They are comfortable when they need to have their claws trimmed. I want to foster puppies so bad. Oh my gosh. They would be adorable. I would have a hard time saying no to a litter of puppies, but honestly, it would be a whole different ballpark. It would be a totally different scenario to take in puppies for sure. I flew to St. Martin once to rescue a puppy. And it had a broken leg, and it was just through like an organization and a friend who adopted a dog from the island as well. And it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. Ray won't let you. What? Okay, if I had, I need to find an equivalent streamer for you that does like dogs, because if he came on this stream and saw all these adorable kittens and cats, I feel like he wouldn't possibly be able to say no. Look at them. She's cleaning them. Okay, guys. She never ever cleans the cats when I'm in there, and I started to get nervous that she wasn't cleaning and stimulating them as they should be. And so I was a little bit worried because mothers can neglect their cats, and it's really important to they can neglect their kittens, so it's really important to monitor and make sure that she's not neglecting them. And so looks like she is taking good care of these babies. Oh my gosh, she's getting up. Oh, she's looking right at the camera. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh, and she's off. What? Okay, you always gasp after me, and I'm like, what happened? Yeah, she's like, I'm out. I'm out of here. Bye, Mom. That's why I think she's like, okay, everybody's pretty much passed out. I'm gonna dip and go drink some water and eat some food. But yeah, I don't even remember where I was at talking about all the pets. The cuties. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this little face. So cute. Bam. That's like a little too zoomed in. It's a great quality photo though. So yeah, it's just a wonderful opportunity to foster these guys. I've had so many wonderful little guys. Look at this little guy. Coming in through my home. I know, I love this photo too. Yeah. Such little sweeties. Oh, yeah, I know, I went through a couple there. Oh, that's me with a couple of my cats. I had them all in my arms. And they were just like little sweethearts. Oh yeah, this is a whole other litter. So this is the litter that I adopted my two little ones from. If you guys have seen Dolce and Dragon from past streams, they have come in to say hello. Let me know if you can try to point them out in the picture. I'm curious if you can pick who they are out of the cluster of kittens in the video. And I just added also to the on-stream. Oh, I changed it to the Krabby Patties that you can now request some Dragon Kitty time and you can request some Dolce Kitty time. I set them at a pretty high price because I don't want to piss them off all the time bringing them in here. But I saw that on another stream and I was like, that is such a great idea. Just to allow the stream to build up and if people save up enough Krabby Patties, they want to bring in a cat to say hello, then that's kind of cool. So we're going to have that going on the stream now. I think we've pretty much established this stream as a cat somewhat themed stream with gaming as well. Oh my gosh, I have a lot going on down here. Whoa.
Don't mind me, it's just me.
Okay, and Rona. You and Rona. It's like blowing up my phone, literally. Yeah, so that's kind of going through pretty much all of my past fosters. I wanted to just take you through a couple, I guess it's like 10 steps that I just put together to set up not only set up your home for foster kittens, but to assess if you think that you are ready to be a foster parent and find out what works for you. So let's put on the corner, like this one. That's cute. I wanted to zoom into this one, but for some reason the zoom button's disappeared. It's okay. Technical challenge. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. That's a cute one right there. But yeah, so basically, know what cases you're comfortable with. Right, so we talked about feral kittens. We talked about pregnant mothers, which are called queens. We talked about orphan kittens, older cats. It's always wonderful if you have an extra space in your home to take in an older cat. I heard it was very difficult to become a foster parent and a lot of planning goes into it. So a lot of planning goes into it, but honestly, it's not as difficult as you think. When I first heard that there was such a thing as fostering, I actually didn't even know it was a thing. And that's why I feel like it's so important to talk about it, to tell everybody out there that might have a good opportunity in their home like I happen to have. It is very doable, very possible, and there are a lot of organizations that need your help. Like, it's something that, oh, Pine, hi for stopping by. Hi, thank you for stopping by. Nice to see you here. We're just talking about assessing your home to see what kind of foster cases you might be able to take in. Yeah, so knowing the type, but Sabri, there is definitely a huge need. Difficulty would only be just making sure that you have the right scenario in your home. So as long as your home is like meets a couple standards, which I'll go through, then it's very doable. And there is a huge need within specific organizations. I found that the first organization I was with had an overwhelming amount of foster parents, whereas the smaller organizations where they're a little more hands-off and you need to be a little bit more confident, a little bit more knowledgeable and self-trained or trained from previous experience with veterinarians, they're the ones that really, really have more of a demand and more of a need. So if you are comfortable with that kind of thing, doing the studying, then there are a lot of organizations that are smaller that can take that help for sure. There's other cases like palliative care types, which is a rough kind. Palliative care is definitely an admirable cause. The people that are able to do that, it's enough breaking my heart just to give up foster kittens when they get to the age where they go out to adoptive homes. But so step 1, get away from Ray. Step 2, message Tiff. Step 3, do everything Tiff says and apply right now. I love it. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's not awesome. I'm sorry, Ray, if you're watching this. Watch him, the rest of your family be watching this and they're like, Tiff, how could you be driving Sabri away? I'm not. But no, don't try to get away from your families if it doesn't work out. Just wait for an opportunity in life where it works. But palliative care is basically animals that are on their last legs and they just need a comfortable home to live out the rest of their life in. It's a very, very admirable thing when people take in palliative care animals. They're usually older or have what's it called? Terminal illnesses. And so that is a wonderful thing that people can do. So, depending on the type of kittens and ability that you have to take on, there's a lot of different ones you can do. You don't have to make yourself open to every single type. You can select and let them know what you're comfortable with. Step 2 would be finding your local shelters. So searching for humane societies, privately run organizations, and shelters in your local area, and then either calling them or going on their websites and finding out, just sending an email if they have a foster program. A lot of them will have a foster application form on their website, and you can apply to it or you can call in and ask them. Make sure you look up, if they don't have the information available online, what they provide, because it really, really is a totally different ballpark every single organization you go to. I was lucky enough to start out with an organization that had a wonderful system in place, so much support, and they'd send out weekly emails and you could choose and let them know which cases you're comfortable with. If you were busy for a few weeks, you were going away, you didn't have to respond. A lot of organizations, it's like you have to be on a waiting list and you got to take in whatever they have. Like, you got to be ready all the time to take in anything at any point, and that's a lot for people to commit to. And so just know what you're getting yourself into, what you're committing to with every organization. The second thing I'd say is that some organizations will provide you with everything you need. Many organizations will provide you with everything you need through fundraising and donations. They will provide you with all the blankets, the food, the medication, the vet appointments, spay-neuter surgeries, everything like that paid for. Some will not, though. Some will already have a wait list of people and will be interviewing and conducting the entire adoption process. Some will look to you to get that cat adopted out into a home and to connect with and to communicate with potential adopters. And that's a whole other ballpark that you have to be okay with. So that's definitely something that you need to look into and ask an organization about if you are interested in fostering with your local organizations. Step 3 would be see if your home is a good fit. So are there kids? Is it loud? Are there other pets in the home? And are those pets up to their, vaccinations and everything like that? Because they could very easily get sick from these other kittens, or these kittens could get sick from them, especially if they're going outside and you want to keep them separate. So it's really important to have the proper space and to be able to keep them separate in a quiet, safe room that is totally blocked off from the rest of your home. So you kind of need to look into your home and say, do I have a separate room? Even a large enough bathroom will be good. And honestly, tile or wood would be the best, something that you're able to sanitize. What I always recommend is there's a lot of, what do you call them, pathogens. There's a lot of sicknesses that can stay and live on surfaces for even up to a year. Very, very harmful to cats. And so they need to be killed with very strong cleaners. There's things that are safe called rescue, or bleach will do the trick. Every time I have a batch of kittens through, I clean with bleach to kill everything, and then I clean on top of that with a gentle cleaner so that it's not a harmful chemical left over on the surface. Sabri, lol. Teddy Eddie isn't enough anymore. I need more to love. I got so much love to give. Or so much to give, I assume is love. Who's Teddy Eddie? Is Teddy Eddie a hamster? All little hammies squirming. What? It says Teddy Eddie. I'm scared for when you get a house, it's going to be a zoo. I am, yeah, I mean, no. I'd only take on as many as I could give, like, the needed attention to, and honestly, takes so much out of me to, keep up with all the medications and the sicknesses and monitoring and weighing and everything like that. So, yeah, I wouldn't take too many, but, a few. Um, Oh, and Sabri, yeah, when you get your house. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Okay, so once you get a home where you have a space to foster, you call me up and we're going to find the perfect space in the room in the house. We're going to find a room and I'm going to set you up good with everything you need. What, Tracy, tell her? Tell her what? My heart? What? What is happening? There's something so dramatic happening. I know, right? Teddy Eddie, right? What?
It's her lifelong teddy bear she's had since ever. And she sniffs its butt every night before she goes to bed.
Oh! Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I don't know why. That brings back some memories. The butt sniff bear. Okay. How many years has it been since I feel like I would have seen Teddy Eddie? Maybe like 10 years. A while. But yeah. I remember now. Yes, you definitely. I thought it was another hamster. I thought you had more hamsters. I remember you always used to have them. And then Tracy said something about hammies, and I was like, oh, the kittens look like hamsters, but so excited, like not even joking, so prepared. Yes, and you're going to be even more prepared because I am going to prepare you to be a foster parent. I love it. Sabri, you're making this whole talk like worth it. Thank you. And awesome questions as well. That's so great. So I love it. It's just like my two mods like chatting. Somebody better moderate this conversation. Before it gets crazy. I need to moderate my moderators. So okay, step 4. Sorry guys, we're only on step 4. This is Twitch though, right? I can be as slow as I want. No mods in the mod? Sure. Yes. Okay, step 4. Understanding the commitment and risks. So this is basically what I was talking about, being able to clean. You never want to foster cats in a room that has carpet. Never. Ever, ever, ever. You are not going to be able to clean that no matter what you're using to clean to a level that it's going to be safe to bring in other kittens. These kittens are like they're born blind, deaf, unable to warm their bodies. They are so vulnerable and they really, really need to be protective from any illnesses. They get sick very easily. So when you're, bringing in multiple litters, that brings in a lot of different illnesses and you need to be able to clean the area really well, like sanitize the crap out of it. So definitely know that you'll have to do a lot of cleaning. Like a lot of my day is just going in multiple times in the day and cleaning litter boxes, sanitizing the floors, I change all of the blankets. I have like a army of fleece blankets and towels that I change out all the time because, these little guys are sick, right? So they're going to have accidents and that's just a lot of cleaning. So if you enjoy that, that's definitely a huge part of it for sure. Oh, Rhode Island, hi. Are the mods supposed to summarize the tips points in the chat? Why? Because they're always doing that? No. Mods are supposed to moderate the chat. So if people like if you were going to get crazy and start posting some wild stuff in the chat and like swearing at everybody, then like I just boot you out of here. But because I'm like rambling, then my mods in the chat would have my back. So they like they can ban people, they can time people out, they can do stuff to keep the chat clean and squeaky. But yeah, so moving back into that, just understanding, okay, the commitments, cleaning, and risks, I say, because you could be bringing in a lot of contagions, and you need to know that, if you have family pets, if you're not getting those up to date with all the vaccinations and stuff like that, they are at risk just from your feet walking in and out. It can be, spreadable. So it's just something you need to be comfortable with and aware of before you bring them into your home. I can't see what is this emote. I can't read the words, but I feel like I'm supposed to be able to read it, but I can't. It's so small. Oh my gosh. Do I need glasses? I have glasses for far, but not close up yet. Showing my daughter the kittens. Her name is Kendra. What's the kittens' names? Hi, Kendra. Nice to meet you. Thank you for hopping on the kitten stream. Let me put a closer up kitten picture on. Oh, you know what? I had some cute ones on the side. Ooh, that's a cute one. Okay, so these guys, I need to point the opposite direction that it is for me. These guys in here, the kittens' names are all named after types of tea. And so they are from the smallest to the biggest. So the runt of the litter is the smallest one. And he is just a tiny little thing. His name is Pico, after orange Pico tea. And then we have the medium-sized ones, I'll say, Jasmine, Ginger, and we have Jasmine and Ginger are a little bit smaller, and then the big guys are Bengal and then Oolong. And Oolong is he's like the big one, the big boy in the batch. He's almost twice the size of Pico. So so it's hard to tell them apart right now at such a young age. They all look like little, they're just little beans. But as they grow, and they'll kind of grow a little disproportionately, they'll have different patterns or colors. It's a little bit hard with a litter like this because they literally look the exact same. Sometimes you'll get a litter where there's white ones and gray ones and black ones, and you kind of have a whole mixture. You can actually have a litter with long-haired and short-haired cats, and they can be totally different breeds of cat. I'm not going to get into the logistics of how that happens, but it does happen. These guys are obviously very, very similar. They look all the same, and so it is hard to figure out who is who. I mostly judge based off of the weights and the sizes. Mod Love, yes. Rhode Island, I love that Mod Love. Oh, yes, I remember Teddy Eddie. Okay, I'm seeing a picture of Teddy Eddie off to the side. But I hope that that explains it to your daughter, and let me know if you have any other questions. If she has questions for me, or to ask about any of the kittens that I have or have had in the past. But yeah, so just gonna continue. I'll continue talking through all the steps and things that you need to consider to set up your home and possibly consider fostering yourself. So the other one is setting up your home. So this one is kind of fun. It's one of my most enjoyable parts after the whole sanitizing out a room. I've adopted out all the kittens from my past litter. I got an email saying that there is a new litter in and they need my help, and I'm racing around to clean. So I've sanitized everything, I've done my gentle cleaner over everything, and now I get to set up my room. So what would that look like? It's providing a safe, closed-off space. You want to provide some areas that are very accessible, that are not well hidden. Like, you don't want any beds or something that they can go far underneath. But I find that putting a box in the room and their carrier in the room is just enough that they can hide and feel safe. It's a little safe hideout for them when they're nervous at first. And then you want to get a bunch of towels, fleece blankets, and create some warm, cuddly areas for them to sleep. Honestly, don't be upset if they sleep on the middle of the floor because that happens. But it's really important to give them some safe, comfortable spaces as well. And what is Tracy saying here? No, we're just here to make sure people don't get out of line. Yes. Yeah, don't get out of line. You guys are wild in this chat, honestly. No, I feel like, honestly, I say honestly way too much. I've had the most supportive chat, though, I feel like, on all of Twitch that I've seen so far. No, but it's just a very, very positive, uplifting place in the chat section. So thank you guys all for whoever's, lurking, or if you're chatting, just for being such a positive group of people. It's exactly what I wanted for the channel, and it's so wonderful. Just having like such an uplifting group of people, like wanting to learn and everything like that. It's wonderful. So, you guys in the chat are awesome. Chat love. Being outside the normal is more fun. Oh wait, I missed something above here. Make sure people don't get out of line. She loved it, but back to her tablet. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I'm always on the watch for the out of liners. I love it. Yes. Being outside the normal is more fun. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Have there been any out of liners though? Really? I don't know. I haven't noticed any, so I guess maybe you guys are super on top of things and I don't even get to see them, but kudos to you. That's cool. Yeah. So, okay. List a couple things. So a lot of organizations, and when you're starting off on your own, I strongly recommend going with an organization that does provide these things. They get them through donations and funding, but it's going to be a lot to get on your own if you're starting off by yourself and the organization doesn't provide anything, because kittens eat a lot. And KMR, the powdered milk replacer that we use for orphan kittens that can't feed from their mother, costs a lot of money. Every single like tin of it, it's like $50. It's crazy. So it's something that you definitely want to do through an organization. If you're purchasing this stuff on your own, then kudos to you. It's a huge undertaking, and that is why it's so important to donate to these organizations, because they're going through tons of this KMR kitten milk and food every day, because these kittens just gobble up a lot. They're growing, and it's expensive work to care for these guys. So that is why it's so wonderful what these organizations are doing, giving everything to the animals. Rip David's tea, though. Wait, is David's tea no more? What do you mean, rip? Okay, obviously I'm out of the loop here. What's going on with David's tea? And no, this isn't. Is this David's tea? Guys, shameless promo. Celestial Organics. This is a wonderful tea. It's my favorite blend of ginger turmeric. Yes, that's actually my favorite type of tea, though. Totally not sponsored. It's not, though, but just practicing. But is David's tea okay, though? Like, what happened to them? So, okay. Oh, yeah. So some of the things that you would need to get, hypothetically, I went out and I got some extra stuff myself, but that's because I foster so many animals through different organizations. I have my favorite different things to use that I want to have personally, and it makes sense for me to invest in owning them because I have so many fosters coming through my home. It's not just a one-time thing. NBC at least closed up. I didn't even know that. I never go out to buy tea. It's kind of like I understand it's just like saturated water, like coffee is the same, but for some reason for me, buying a coffee seems more worth it than buying a tea. Like, if I'm going to have a tea, like, I'm only going to have a tea at home. It does not feel like I should spend money on a tea out. I don't know why I have that thought process. Everyone here bought like 40 bundles. Now we don't buy more. Wow. I didn't know that. That's really sad. They were a huge organization. But yeah, I never buy tea out. Do they do a lot of organic teas? I feel like we really only have organic teas, and I don't know if they did that. Stuff. But, okay, so some of the things that you might need. A scale. You have to weigh the kittens and track their weights every day. That's very important because the number one way you can notice if a kitten is not doing well is if his weight has plateaued or if its weight is decreasing. The weight of a kitten should be going up drastically every single day because they are growing rapidly. The weight will plateau as they get older. But in the young ages, it's very, very important that they're gaining every single day. You'll need lots of towels, fleece blankets. Again, these things like literally get soiled constantly. I am changing and washing towels every day, so have extras. You do not want to have to put a load in every single time you need to change them. A hot water bottle for everybody out there that has microwaves. You can use those discs that you microwave, or you get a hot water bottle, fill them with water, and that keeps them warm. These guys I have, they don't always need a hot water bottle because their mom is their hot water bottle when she decides to be around. But she's most of the day, she is sitting literally on top of them, keeping them warm. Otherwise, kittens cannot regulate their own body heat temperatures, so they will get cold, and one of the number one ways they pass away is just by hypothermia, because they can't even ingest food when they're cold. They can't even process it in their systems. One of the interesting things I learned is when you find a kitten, say you find one out there in the wild, there's some people might try to assess, hey, are they covered in dirt? Should I clean them up? Are they covered in ticks and fleas? Should I take care of that? Is that the first thing I do? No, that's like the last thing you do. Is it, should I try to feed them food or water? Is that the first thing I do? Actually, no, that's not as well. The first thing that you have to do is warm them up, by all means, because they can't even process the food. If you were to get a kitten to, I don't know how, but make them eat some food after finding them, if they are cold, if the food is cold, they will not be able to process that food. So number one important thing to do, warm that kitten up is the first thing, then get some food into it, and then assess any fleas or anything like medication that needs to be done to help treat its skin and clean it up last. But that's a little side note. Other things you would need. Some stuffed animals. I actually have a low-lying stuffed animal that like spreads out. That is for all of my orphaned kittens that I have in. They have these wonderful cats that you can actually buy. They're fake, obviously. They have a heartbeat in them. You can charge it or put a battery in it, and it makes a low like purring noise, and it's wonderful, and it has a heartbeat. And kittens that are orphaned, they spend most of their time, they would have spent most of their time under mom or beside mom. And so having that figure in their nesting box is really important for them to feel safe and comfortable, because you can't always be there all the time. So if you can get something like that with the heartbeat, that is incredible. If not, a stuffed animal works as well, and a hot water bottle to keep them warm under the blankets. Food, water bowls, all that stuff, litter boxes. When they're really tiny, I literally save up Kleenex boxes and I cut them in half, and I use those with some newspaper litter. I use yesterday's news, but it's great because a lot of kittens, if you use rock litter with them, they try to eat it. I don't know why. It's just something in their heads. They always try to eat it. So, yeah, so tiny little litter boxes, you'll have to get, depending on the scenario, situation, cats that you have, you'll need to get different things and sizes. So let me see here. We also have, toys, definitely important. Syringes, very important. Syringes are something that I keep around the house all the time. Syringes, I give them milk with syringes. I give them their food sometimes with syringes. Like if they're not well and they're really sick, then I'll make it into a slurry and I'll give them their food that way, just to ensure they get a little something in their stomachs. It's something you have to do very, very cautiously and carefully to make sure that they don't aspirate. And so you have to be comfortable with that and trained to do that. And then medications, I will have to administer with a syringe in their mouth sometimes too. So syringes are just a really helpful thing to have around when you have kittens. When you're talking about keto, unless you're trying to avoid sugar. Oh, they add a lot of sugar to their teas. I know the struggle. I was keto for almost a year. Oh my gosh, kudos to you. Kudos for the ketos. That is hard. I do not have the strength to do that. I'm Italian and I love cheese and bread. I'm an addict. But yeah, that's wonderful that you do that. And it's an eye opener on how much sugar I consumed before, and it was good minus the sprinting and lifting weights heavy, so I stop. But it's done right. I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, if done right and you enjoy it, yeah, for sure, definitely. That is really cool. That is so wonderful. That's something I would love to talk about. That's, cats are like a huge, fostering. That's a huge thing I love to chat about. I would totally chat about like food and health and fitness and stuff like that in a future stream because that's something I also spend too much time looking into and researching and really enjoy chatting about. Yes, so continuing on though, yes, so having lots of paper towel, and a sensitive cleaner and a more intensive cleaner, whether that's the rescue or that's just to bleach in your home, make sure you use a sensitive cleaner afterwards because there are going to be tiny little kittens on there. But yeah, you just want something that kills all those germs. Staying organized. I actually draft up my own and print my own weight tracking charts. Finding a different way to distinguish the kittens from each other is really important when they get a little bit older. If they look the exact same, you can just clip a little bit of fur on the back of one of them so that you can distinguish between the two until you know them enough apart, because weights change and illnesses, change like all the time. Every single day you need to know who is who so you can track how they're doing and if they're getting better or worse or if another one's gotten sick. So tracking and staying organization. Tracking and staying organized, I think, is a really, really important part of fostering. It's not just about, having fun with them, but it's their whole well-being. They're coming into your home most likely. Can't keep on the kitten chat. That's okay. But they're most likely coming into your home sick and vulnerable, and so it's really important that your job is to monitor their situation every single day and make sure that they're not getting any worse, but they're at least plateauing and getting better and not digressing. So tracking that. Yeah. I track down stool scores, behavior, any cough, sneezes, anything like that, and weights every single day to track them and catch sicknesses before they get too bad. And sickness is super common in young kittens. Like, they deal with so many things: eye infections, respiratory infections, ringworm. They deal with like tons and tons of like things they'll go through. So don't worry about it. You just got to monitor it and make sure you're aware of it as soon as possible so you can treat each thing. Yeah, because these are all things that can be, harmless if caught at the right time and treated effectively. But you just need to know that they're there and make sure that you can see, because cats are notorious for hiding their struggles. They do not show when they're in pain, and so you need to know the signs. And one very important thing to be able to recognize, and actually took me some time doing some research and watching some videos on it and figuring out where to draw the line between lethargic kittens and just sleepy kittens, because cats sleep a lot in the day, but the sign of lethargy is a really, really bad sign in cats. Cats should be playful and they should be running around, zooming and sprinting. A cool fact about cats, though, is a lot of people I've noticed toss around the fact that they're nocturnal. A lot of people call cats nocturnal. Cats are actually crepuscular. And that means that, and a lot of other animals are crepuscular. Rabbits are crepuscular. Deer are crepuscular. They are up at dawn and dusk. Obviously, they're up throughout the days in different times, and it will change and grow with your schedule and, your house commotion times. But they are most active in the dawn and dusk times rather than nocturnal overnight. And so, wow, cat expert, thank you. Literally been doing this too many years. Too many cat videos just spiraled into researching. But so basically, it's really important to recognize, when they're sleeping. Most hours of the day is normal because they are growing. Kittens sleep so much. If you get a kitten expecting it to be fun all the time, it will not be fun all the time. It actually makes me sad. Like, thinking about, I want to play with these little kittens that you see in the bin there, and they are passed out, and they will be most of the day. So, obviously don't force your kitten to get up and play. They're growing still and they're developing, so they need to sleep. But if they're not getting up at all, or if them getting up, they're slow, they're droopy, dragging their paws, they're not playful, they're not attentive, that's signs of lethargy, and that is really, really bad. And that's something that you need to check in like right away, because that is like the first sign to any sickness. You could have other symptoms of sickness, but if your cat is not lethargic and it's playing really well, then you have a great sign. Even if they have like other symptoms, then that's a sign that they're going to be okay, or they're, moving towards being okay, or they're not too bad. Oh, Timmy, awesome. That's so wonderful. Sabri, awesome. Thank you. You guys are so wonderful. I'm happy you're enjoying this. I was like, am I going to lose everybody talking about all this stuff? I don't know, but I find it really interesting. When I learned about all this stuff, I was like, this is so interesting for me. Do I get a credit towards uni for this? Literally, guys, this is my Zoom class, and you all are going to get some homework distributed afterwards, and yeah. Aw, thank you, Sabri. I love learning things too. When I started a Twitch page, one of the major things that I really wanted to do was like, yeah, let's have fun, like let's play games and chill, and like Wednesday nights are our chill nights. But like I wanted this Friday night show to be something that really the content was of value. It provided value to people and they learned something from it. And so that was really important to me. And so thank you guys for, enjoying it. Oh, I hear some peeps coming from the kittens. They're a little awake. So a couple guys woke up. Tracy, you made me choke on my ice cream. Education. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. I thought that was like a typo or something. Education. That's wonderful. I love how we always end up getting into the cat puns at some point, literally, even if cats have nothing to do with the stream. So okay, step 7, training and providing all the lovin's. That's what I wrote here. It is so important, guys. Our goal is to raise the most adoptable cat in the shelter. We want these guys to not only go out into a home, but stay in that home. And we really don't want them to be sent back. So there's things like, I touched upon this as well, with doing the regular checkups, brushing your cats. A lot of cats are uncomfortable being brushed when they get older. So doing the regular brushes. I actually brush my cat's teeth because that is something that they are not comfortable with when they're older. But it's really important and can help save a lot of money on dental bills if you just brush your cat's teeth, which is funny. A lot of people don't know, but all cats' teeth can be brushed and should be brushed and will save you a lot of money when they're older if you do brush them. So things like that are things that we can do as foster parents when cats are younger to have them be comfortable having their whole, their ears getting checked, their eyes getting cleaned from any goops, their teeth getting touched and checked and lifted. They get so relaxed and chill if you do that regularly at a young age. The claws are really important to be comfortable with touching them or just providing them with a scratching post. We also have clauses, guys, in adoption paperwork that says that we will not, you have to sign that you will never ever declaw your cats. It is completely inhumane. It is horrible. It injures them for the rest of their lives. And it's just terrible. Never ever ever declaw your cats. You're actually removing the last joint of their fingers. It is cutting that off, and it can cause them pain and discomfort for the rest of their life. It is very bad. So yeah, we do make people sign a contract saying that they will never declaw the cat when they take these cats. It's very easy to come up with a system to get your cat comfortable with toe touches and to either get the scratching posts that they need. It's not that expensive to get new cardboard scratching posts or, trim the claws, or just train them to be more cautious with the, if there's kids around or something like that. But definitely declawing them is never, ever, ever the answer. So basically what we're doing as foster parents is making them the most adoptable cats out there, right? We want them to get adopted. And fortunately, there is a high demand for young kittens. So getting them into the homes isn't always the problem, but it's getting them to stay in the homes. People need to, definitely, if you're a part of the process where you're adopting out a cat, you need to interview someone and make sure that they're not doing it on a whim. They know all the work that goes into it. And I hate when people declaw. It makes me mad, mad, mad. Yes, Sabri, totally. It really it does. It makes me so sad for the animals. Um, and people just I think as long as they understand what they're getting into with the animals, they understand the commitments, and you're raising a cat that doesn't have, as best you can, any bad habits at the time that they're going out, then you're giving them the best opportunity to stay in their home and not have any problems. Because someone might pick a cat because it looks cute, but then it's got all these problems, and they end up sending it back, and it looks older, and then it doesn't get adopted out, and that's a really sad system that happens a lot of the time. So it's important to work on the personality and training of the cats just as much as you would train dogs. It's very important to train cats, and you can train cats for sure. Yeah, so step 8, I just said, like, get those zoomies out. So, like, they need to have playtime, and it's really important for a cat's mental health. They are little hunters, and they are like little sociopaths. Like, they want to murder. It is hilarious, adorable, and kind of creepy how good they are at, like, killing, and like actually you can see them like try to like snap the neck of the thing and like carry it around like they know it's done, like dead. It's like it's instinctual, and it's really important for them to feel like live a fulfilled life inside and to develop and grow. That when you're playing with them, toys like on a stick and stuff like that are really good, and you can. It's important to let them catch them. That's why a lot of people are against actually laser pointer toys, because the cat can never catch the toy, and it's actually very frustrating for the animal itself. It's bad for its mental state, for it's bad for its fulfillment. It actually leaves them more stressed out after playing. If they can't have that kill at the end, they need to have that closure, which a lot of people don't actually know to do. But that is really important, that when you're done playing, let the cat catch, catch, and carry their final kill around to a place where they want to carry it off to. That's part of the whole system and process in their head, and that's really important that you follow that when playing with them, because they're fighting, life or death in their mind to hunt and survive. Sabri, my cats love to bring me mice and birds at least twice a week in the summer. I thank them and gracefully get rid of it. That's nice. That's really nice. Oh, growing up, yeah, we had these like 3 cats that would just like they all reached their peak like murderous stage at the same time, and they were all outdoors, and we had a field. We had this one square block by our back door. We called it the graveyard, and there would be bodies piling up, like piled up, because all 3 cats were hunting at the same time, which is really funny. Yeah.
Specify animal bodies.
Bodies. Animal bodies, yes. Well, like we'd have like moles, rats, mice, bunnies, everything like that. Very sad little bunnies. Yeah, but it is what it is for them. It's really interesting, like I think a lot of people hear about how cats traveled the world, spread throughout the world on ships, because people would use them to catch mice on the decks. Has everyone heard that story out there? Not that that's like a fake story. That's just a lot of people hear about that, how they keep them on boats and things like that, or to kill the mice and keep them away. A really cool thing is I've also done a lot of research on chickens because I want chickens. And chickens started pretty much all, oh my gosh, I can't forget where. I can't think on the top of my head right now. But they actually were not all over the world. They traveled throughout the world on boats, because chickens are not vegetarians. They are omnivores, and they hunt rodents, and they kill and eat bugs and animals, like small animals and rodents. So they actually traveled the world not as food. People weren't even bringing chickens like, ooh, let me eat this chicken. They had no intention of eating them, and they were carried around on boats the same way cats were, to kill rodents. Isn't that so interesting? I find that so interesting. I was researching chickens, and I found that out, so that's kind of cool. They're kind of like cats, even though you don't think of them the same way, and if given an opportunity, I'm sure a large cat would also try to eat a chicken. Yes, okay, so step 9, guys, quite possibly the hardest part of the whole thing is giving them up and saying goodbye. It's the most important part of what we do. Oh, Cam hopped on and off again. I think it just does that sometimes.
So you have to adjust it every time?
Did you go change any of the settings when you did that last
I
time?
opened the door. I cracked open the
Okay, then I'm just going to go over to me.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. I'm big. I'm here. I'm going to have this off to the side, and then when it comes back, it just pops out for a little bit. Oh, see, it's back already. I literally need to just transition it off and then transition it back on again. It's weird. But it's all good. Easy, smooth transitions there. But yes, obviously, step 9, hardest part is saying goodbye to the kittens. And, you know, getting them to an adoptive family, whether you're hands off or hands on. That might mean writing a bio about the personality, taking pictures. I know, it's so sad. I think I've cried every single time I've brought my kittens back. Like, I am that, like, I must have the weirdest relationship with these people at the shelter, because every time I'm in there, I am bawling, and I'm just like, here you go, take them, okay? And I'm just like, I'm fine, I swear I'm fine. And oh my gosh, yeah, it's so bad, but I make myself get through it. And the ladies there are like, yeah, we see this all the time, yeah, typical, all right. just drop them off and just go. Yeah, but honestly, like, just knowing, like, when you get, honestly, when you get that next set of kittens, you feel so happy that you were able to do it again. You were able to help get those guys out to a home and not just foster and save the one cat, which everybody else, it's incredible when people save a cat and you rescue a cat and you adopt it. But to have, you know, being a foster parent is going one step further, and it's taking that one step beyond. Especially with Mint and Time, they were so cute. And it's saying, you know, like, I want to rescue and help lots of animals, and I want to help multiple sets and litters of kittens that other people aren't going to be able to get to help keep them out of the shelter so that they can heal and grow to homes. And yeah, it's next level. It's hard, but honestly, fostering again is the easiest way to get past it. Oh, Tibby, you're a legend. Thank you. That is so sweet. That is so wonderful. Thank you so much. I just love doing it so much. Honestly, it feels kind of selfish to say that, like, I'm doing something for others, when really the amount that I get out of it, the amount of, like, love that I get out of fostering, feels selfish to say that I'm doing it for anybody other than myself. But yes, it's a wonderful thing to be able to do, and I'm definitely blessed to have the opportunity to do that within my home, and to be able to take in and you know, donate some supplies and stuff like that for them as well. So step 10, basically my last step out of all the 10 steps, guys, is just cleaning your home and prepping for new fosters. So assessing what you should throw out, depending on the illness that the cat had that you have in your home. You might not be able to foster for up to a year, depending on what it is. I did have kittens before that had panleukopenia. It is a really, really horrible disease. Anybody that's heard of it, it's very upsetting. It takes 95% of the lives of the kittens that catch it. So it's really, really almost, you know, a death sentence when an animal gets that. And so it only lasts about a week or two, but the recovery period can take a really long time, and most kittens do not survive the first 24 to 48 hours of having it. It is highly, highly contagious and can live on surfaces for up to a year. So that is why I say so strongly, do not foster in a place where you cannot sanitize, like, the crap out of the walls, the floor, the tables, the bins. Like, I sanitize everything, because I would not be able to live with myself knowing that I had an animal that had this disease and passed it along to other kittens coming into my home that are so vulnerable that it is almost a guaranteed death sentence if they get this. So definitely know what the kittens have that you have in your home. If you have kittens that have ringworm, you're going to have to take extra precautionary measures and wear PPE when you're in the room touching them. You can't even touch them to your skin. You have to sanitize very well after you have those ones. Other ones are going to be a little bit easier, but it's again, they're dirty and messy, and you always want to be able to sanitize everything after. So definitely have a room that you can clean very well, and ask questions when you want to foster. It's okay to ask the organization what you're taking in. What, is this really going to entail? What are you signing yourself up for? Because there's always a risk that you're taking in a kitten and it can be fine and not have any illness and get sick. In fact, not most, but I'd say a lot of the cases I've taken in that were sick animals, they weren't sick. They weren't showing their symptoms until a while after, so I didn't think I was getting myself into anything serious until later on they started showing the signs and they started getting worse, and then turns out that they had something from back where they were brought in from. So you might not always know that the situation's always developing and changing, and kittens can be messy and they can get sick, so you have to be ready for everything. And so that's that's kind of my whole chat on setting up your home for fostering kittens. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments or anything like that. I hope you've enjoyed watching all the little munchkins wiggling around in their bin. This has been fun. I definitely needed this tea because I talk a lot. If you guys want to hear more stuff like this, I so recommend watching the Kitten Lady's stuff. She's a YouTuber and she's got a website and whole organization, Rescue Herself. She single-handedly rescues hundreds of kittens all the time, and she is just providing information, very, very valuable information for foster parents out there that saves, lots of kittens' lives. The Kitten Lady, her name is the Kitten Lady. If you want to write that in the chat, Trace, you can for sure. She's wonderful resource for a lot of information. She did a whole course where we actually did like a 4-part series of a couple hour-long courses. She put them all together with Royal Canin sponsoring that, and it was just a great resource for free for foster parents out there, people that were saving and rescuing for different rescue organizations. And I learned a lot from her. She's responsible for teaching me a lot of the stuff that I know. A lot of the stuff that I learned was from the shelter. Oh, thank you for tossing that in there, Trace. The Kitten Lady, yes, on YouTube. You can check her out there. And the other organizations have been responsible for teaching me a lot. They are wonderful and hands-on, and yes, they trained me in a lot of things that I was not comfortable doing in the past, like the needles and everything like that are feats in themselves to learn how to do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. I didn't finish going through all the pictures of the. I didn't get to the fosters that I actually ended up keeping. So you guys might have seen Dolce on the last stream. She was in my arms, and Dragon hopped in for a little moment. But let me just see here. This other. Okay, this litter is the litter that they came from. So if I zoom in. Oh, I can't zoom in. Lovely. Sometimes I can't.
Control plus near the back space bar.
Let me just see here. Control.
Should be right next to the back space bar.
Ah. Okay.
No?
Well, that's what it was.
Oh, it didn't work. I did.
Yeah, but it didn't really do it the way that I wanted it to. Whatever. That's fine. Okay, well, you guys see them close enough. I was going to zoom into their little faces and show you which ones are which. Yeah, so this litter of kittens, we did suspect that they had panleukopenia. Afterwards was found out that they didn't, so we didn't actually know what it was that they had. Very sadly, a lot of members of this litter were lost. The three cream-colored kittens, one passed away before getting brought to my home. The other guy, he was actually adopted out early. He was doing great. And then these two and these two were brought into my home. They called me up and they said that they were in really, really rough shape and would I be willing to try to take in and save these guys. It's different from any foster scenario I've ever been called to do. Most they're stable. They're sick, but there's a plan to get them better, and they're on track to getting better. These guys was a last ditch attempt to save their lives, and if we could save any more, then that was why they were being sent over to my home. So it was very scary. I'd never lost a foster kitten before in my home ever, and this was the litter. You see these two little guys, they were brought into my home. And then this one was a little sweetheart. That's Dolce, actually. I'm not sure. Let me check the camera. Sorry, guys. I can actually, I'm just seeing who's at my door. Because I wonder if it's some sort of delivery or something like that. Oh, no. It's the next people over that are getting something delivered. Oh, cameras. Love them. Yes, so this was little Squidward. He got really, really sick. You can see syringe in the background. He was not able to eat towards the end. He was not able to drink towards the end. I learned how to administer subcutaneous fluid so that he could get some water. I was feeding all of his food through a syringe to try to get him to eat. And unfortunately, in the end, he did lose his battle. And yes, so it, it was really rough. So we ended up adopting this little one right here, which is the sibling. Yes, it was honestly probably like the worst day of my life. It was so horrible. We're not going to get into those details, but that is one of the risks that you need to know when going into fostering is that again, I knew taking on this case of kittens that they were predicted to not make it, and it was my job to see whatever last ditch attempts I could do to save them. So I was aware of the risks going into it, and taking them in. They were on like morning medications, 3 times a day medications with their foods, probiotics mixed in. They were getting B12 shots. They were getting the subcutaneous fluids. They were getting the one that was really, two actually that got really sick, they were getting this medication every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes all day long. I am so fortunate enough to work full-time from home, so I was able to make that work and go in there and be with them, and provide the care. Not everybody's going to be able to take on a case like this, and not everybody's going to be able to it's like a full-time job, really. Not everyone's going to be able to do this kind of thing. Not every foster situation is like this, but just so people do know that these are scenarios that do happen. And as you get more experience and further into it and you want to take in more complex cases, then that's just one of the things that can possibly happen. But knowing that they had the opportunity to spend that life in a comfortable, loving home with care around the clock for them, then that's comfort for me. And so this little one, Dolce, is my little girl. I adopted her, and she lives here now. So whenever you save up and spend some Krabby Patty channel points, then you can call on her for a little bit of visit. We'll go grab her and bring her in to say hello sometimes. And then the other one I adopted is this one, Little Dragon. So because he looks like a little dragon, so we just started calling him Dragon because we wanted, he just had this really intense look on his face, and then it just kind of stuck, and he started responding to the name. So he's my little dragon, and Dolce is the little girl. So it's a boy and a girl, brother and sister. And yeah, that's just, it was a rough scenario, but I got these wonderful little guys out of it. So that is incredible. Yeah, look at him showing off. Little cutie. That's me trying to work while visiting in the room. Dragon was the second sickest, so other than the one that did not make it, I really did not know if he was going to make it for a little while. He was really, really sick on subcutaneous fluids, a lot of medications, extra medications than all the other ones. And he pulled through, and it took a lot of work to get him to pull through, but it just like it reinstills the reason why I foster, to see these ones go from being so sick and anorexic and underweight to thriving and like living their lives that they otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to live. Thank you, Timmy. This is him out on the grass. He's like, yeah, I'm training them to be on leashes so that they can go outside. Yep, so this is just, I think that's the end of the slide. Oh, no. So then that brings us to these guys that we were watching the live cam of. This is the mother, and this is all the little youngins that she's got. The little ones, I just have a couple photos of them. They're just tiny little things right now. But yeah, so I had this wonderful opportunity. I fostered so many orphaned kittens, and I've never yet had the chance to foster a pregnant mom, a queen, or a mother that's just given birth. But through this new organization, they needed a lot of help, and I got a call, and the day that they were born, I rushed over there and I picked them up, and I thought to myself, okay, this sounds like the most amazing opportunity. Who just gets to see, newborn kittens? Like, these guys have been alive. Like, they were born on Saturday last week. They have been born, like, they've only been alive for 6 days. They're still, like, their eyes are closed and they're like wiggling around and stuff. But I find it so adorable. I don't know. I've seen, talks and stuff like that where they do live streams of the kittens just wiggling around and living their lives. And I love watching it. So I'm sure it's a specific vibe for some people, but other people are like, I don't know, they just look like sleeping cats, but for me it's adorable. So if you guys enjoy that, thanks for sticking around, and hopefully you enjoyed learning some stuff about cats and I didn't make it too boring like you were in school. But yeah, I had a really fun time talking to you guys about my journey as a foster parent, and I know a lot of people don't know a lot about that. We do a lot of games and we interview a lot of other streamers on the channel, and so we kind of scrape at the surface of it here and there, but we don't always get the opportunity to dive into it. So sure, if Dolce's around, then I'd love for her to come in. She's such a sweetheart. She would love to say hi to everybody. But yeah, so it's an incredible opportunity just to showcase the little ones, since I was given this chance to have them in their home, and yeah, share all this knowledge with you guys that I've put so much time into researching, because I really want my Twitch page to be a place of learning and great educational content on Friday nights, and then the rest of the evenings can just be chill. Yeah, so that was tonight's interview. I was like, tonight's interview is going to be a little bit furrier than our guest is going to be a little furrier than usual people that we bring on here, but it was fun. We'll see if Dolce's around. Maybe she'll want to come over and say hey. But thanks for sticking around, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out this whole time and listening and asking all your questions and stuff like that. It's so much fun to have you guys on this stream. I feel like I should switch over here since these guys are kind of passed out. I'm a little bit bigger now. You can see me here. We'll see if we can get Dolce in here to hold, maybe, because she's such a little sweetheart. She'd love to come say hi to you guys. Sorry, my camera's like off to the side, and so I need to always look in the wrong. I am looking at you guys, though. I'm looking at the chat. It's off to the side. But I'm surprised. The mom has stayed away for so much time. Like, during this stream, she really does spend a lot of her time outside of the box, away from the kittens, which is surprising because I guess I made the room quite warm. I really didn't want them to get cold, so I feel like I feel like they're doing good. They don't need her to warm them. Free Dolce. She's free roaming. Actually, we're gonna collect her and see if she's around. Thanks for the heart, Sabri. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you to me and Tracy and Sabri and everybody, and for just staying on, and Matt for being on. If you're still hanging around, just it's so awesome having you guys coming back each week, and it's so much fun chatting with you guys. If there's any topics you want me to talk more about in the future, or like if there was a game or a guest, or fostering is fun to talk about, like you want to hear more about in future Friday night shows, let me know, because you guys are the ones that mold the content, and what you guys want to see I will produce. I will bring on topics and guests based on what you guys most enjoy hearing more about, for sure. And if you miss any of the past episodes, or you were like, hey, I want to hear more about that, then you can go on our YouTube channel and check them all out. Yay, baby! Thank you. Oh, hi, chicken. Hi, chicken baby. This is Dolce. Hi, you. She's like, she's a little, she acts like a little rag doll, but she's, we actually don't know what she is because she was just in the wild. Hi, you. She just kind of flops. There you go. Look in the camera. Yeah, say hi to everybody. She says, hi, Timmy. She always wants to go for my mic. She's like, I know. She's like a little nugget. She'll like literally just chill. Oh, but she like always, she was hard to wrangle. Aw, thank you for wrangling her. She's like a little munchkin though. She's like, when she's in here, then she loves hanging out. Like she'll just sit here with me and try to eat my mic and try to chew on my cables. Can we get some purrs in the mic? Oh. Can we get some purrs? Nope. There you go. Oh. Thank you, baby. Very good. Yeah, I feel like that's a good ending to a kitten stream. Okay, she has more to say. That's cool. This is literally the most cat content like I think I've ever swarmed anybody with. Like we've got live stream kittens on 2 screens and pictures of cats on the 3rd screen. If you don't like cats right now, like I am so sorry. Like how can we flood people like more? It's just actually hilarious. But yeah, she'll just pretty much like chill here for good. So that's cool. But no. She's actually I don't care. She can just hang out. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up there then. I realize that it's like we're just about to hit the 2-hour mark. Boy, can I blabber on about cats and fostering. Yeah, it was so much fun this Friday night, guys. So I'm really excited. I was just about to say I'm really excited for next week, but unfortunately we're going to be taking a break next week. We will be off next week. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, because my mic has been turned by this little chicken. But yes, we will be off on a break next week, Friday. Got so much fun stuff going on in my life outside of this streaming, although streaming is so much fun. So I'm always going to try to make lots of time to be on a good schedule, because I know that that's the easiest way for you guys to follow along. So just so you know, I will be posting about it on Instagram to remind people, but that next week's Friday night show will not be happening. So maybe we'll come back with something really fun for the week afterwards to make up for that for you guys. But thanks for tuning in this week. And oh yes, check out our Instagram. Welcome to the lobby. It's gorgeous. It's like, see this pink vibe we've got going on here? It's yeah, it'll have all the updates, and it's just nice to look at if you like nice to look at Instagrams. Yes. So, anyways, thank you so much. Can you chill here, Dolce, while I press the buttons? She's like, oh, okay, there we go. One handing holding this cat. Alrighty. She's like chilling in the wrong direction. Oh, Tracy's waving bye.
Why?
She's like looking at your hand, like, what's going on? Why you do this? Look at, hi, you chicken. She just sits though, like one hand.
She's so well behaved.
I know. What the
Well
heck?
mannered, like fancy kitten.
I know, guys. Look at this. I raise chill kittens. Oh, are you gonna fall asleep? Yeah, she just likes to be held, you know. She's just hanging out. Oh. She's like, I'm gonna pass out now. Okay. I know, chill vibes. Sorry guys, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hop off the live stream, and then she just flops. Look at the toes. Look at the toes and the feet. Guys. I know. I love bouncing the little toes. Thank you, Sabrina. You're amazing. Thank you. I hope that you learned something. And you know, if you ever want me to chat on the topics more or want to ask me any questions about it, I am always open to helping people or talking to people more about it. Obviously, I have lots to say on it. And yeah, it's so much fun to research, though. It's like wonderful. So look at with our little paws bouncing. Like, bye guys. Oh, not the mic. Not the mic, you little chicken. I know. I don't want to go because she's so cute.
You could have that other cam, like to do the side view. Up close with Dolce.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of perfect timing though, because all the kittens have just passed out for good now, so it's all good. But yeah, alrighty, guys.
Don't forget to play the highlight reel.
Oh yes, we have a highlight reel from some of the past more gaming style episodes. So they're less of like an interview, and they're more focused on the games themselves. But it is a fun highlight reel. Oh, thank you, Rhode Island. I'm glad it was a great lesson. Thank you for signing up to my class. Do your homework. And yeah, I'll roll our highlight video in case you guys want to hang out and chat with each other for a few more minutes and watch some funny mishaps while I game on our other ones. Oh, anytime. I love educating you. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. Thanks for stopping by the lobby. I'll see you guys next week.
Get it, girl. Go get it, get it. Come on, you got this. You gotta be experienced too.
There we go.
Oh,
I killed one! Oh my gosh, look at me go. Oh my gosh, my favorite part about this character, how if I face backwards, you literally don't even see me because the hair is so huge. That's like real life goals, pretty much.
Uh-oh. I just broke a chest.
Break down the house.
What just happened? What? Oh no!
What?
The house just broke.
The whole house? What?
What's going on?
Oh my
no.
gosh, why is our entire house falling down? James, I leave you for 1 second. What did you do?
No.
Okay, this is why this is a setup day.
I was like,
So-
I see you.
Oh, you just the giant tree. We're just fighting this tree.
Yep, you're just fighting the trees.
Oh my gosh, you
Did
got
you
it.
see that?
Yeah, I'm right beside the deer.
Wow. I didn't even realize you were there. That's
I'm
awesome.
right there. Okay, how do we
Come
get
here.
there?
Close to the water. We're gonna start here. All right.
Oh my gosh, are
you're
we
in
gonna
Kaya,
freeze
right?
our way across?
We're gonna freeze our way across.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm ready to go on an adventure. How do we make a boat? Let's make a boat and just go look at the boss.
Am I too
Yeah.
eager right now? So I'm like not good at making these characters like me, and so I keep giving people things that they hate. Like, oh, watch this interaction with this guy. He's a peach. I don't know you. Why are you talking to me? That's nice. Stop that. Yuck. Oh, shoot. I was going through the garbage in front of him. Look, I'm going to give him something.
From the trash?
Look, why are you giving me your garbage? Like, that's right. No, oh, you know, I actually did pick that up from the trash. Stop that. Yuck. Here, take it.
Okay, now we're moving. Okay, good. Oh, now we're moving.
Oh,
Now we're
shoot.
moving. Let's
We're
go.
moving. I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh.
Okay, nice. Nice.
Oh, we're so gonna hit that rock.
I told you, that's why I said you don't really gotta roll on the weapons banner
Can we
because you get a
just-
lot.
Pause on the name of this club. It's literally called the Debate Club. Oh,
Great.
now I'm really sitting. I'm dancing. Ooh, ooh.
What are you doing?
Did you tell me already? I can't remember if I asked you who your least favorite character was or who you think is like useless, basically. I think you were telling me that you thought like one of the characters was like
Oh yeah, definitely Diona.
Diona, right?
Absolutely.
Why?
I don't
I
know!
was literally just about to be done.
Oh, I didn't close any connection. I didn't know I had to keep that screen open the whole time.
Wait, so if you shut that screen down, I get kicked out?
I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense. Wilson! Wilson, I'm sorry!
I know.
Wilson!
You're on a raft. Wilson, come back.
Alright, yeah, these are my ears. I can change the colors and everything. They're on the sides too.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
gifts from my boyfriend.
Oh, but we're going down here, right?
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, up, up, up. No, 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 up. Go up. Up.
I'm going up. It was created by like a guy called Concerned Ape. A great name, right? And anyways, so he spent 4 years building this game from scratch, like every inch of this game by himself. One guy. Are you coming?
Uh-oh. Oh no. I'm a castaway. I don't know how to get back.
Look at him! Oh my gosh, it's like
Oh, no.
raining and storming, and this poor guy's just adrift. Jump off and swim!
So,
I'm like half trying to pay attention, half not getting killed from these
oh my gosh, why didn't you say anything?
I know, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I'm like getting attacked. With Genshin, because to play multiplayer in this game, you have to level up to level 16, which I don't know who, Scar, told me it was easy. It's so
It is
not
easy. It
Oh
is
my
so
God.
easy. I did it in like 3 nights.
3 nights.
6. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
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 Oh
All
my
right.
goodness.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
I'm just gonna get my pickaxe here because I don't have another weapon.
Holy smokes. What is going on?
Oh my gosh. You're not smart.
Oh my gosh, there it is.
Oh my goodness!
Oh!
Look at this thing! Oh my gosh!
I
How
have
do
a
you even get
defense.
close enough? I can't kill a regular deer. It's a deer. Shoot! Once I
Oh,
I just
Oh,
accepted.
someone else
Oh,
coming
did
in?
I accept some random
You just
person?
accepted a random person. Oh no.
Who is this person?
Oh no.
Oh no!
Well,
Who
you can
are
kick him. You can kick him if you want.
I just put a random person on game.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining me in the lobby. I hope you enjoyed your stay.